Hi everyone, welcome to day 27. So we are very close to the end now. Definitely can see the finish line. And I hope you're all feeling super strong and super proud of yourselves for making it this far. So I'm just going to close our eyes down, get nice and grounded, just paying attention to our breath. Getting in a few last minute fidgets. Getting as comfortable as possible, either sitting on your knees or in a cross-legged position. Bring the hands together and we'll start our practice by chanting Om. Taking a deep inhale. Om. Gently bow your heads as we pay our respects to Indigenous leaders past, emerging and present. We give thanks to the sages, the rishis, the yogis who came before us to share this knowledge of yoga. And we give thanks to our pride, divine, Mother Earth, nature, or our own higher consciousness for guiding us safely and bringing us to our mat this morning. Gently rubbing the hands together, feeling that heat burn. Gently placing them over the eyes, linking the eyes open, massaging the face, the shoulders, the arms, the legs, until we're back to seated. So just with your hands on your knees, we're going to focus on our diaphragmatic breathing. So inhaling through the nose, filling the belly all the way up, and feeling the chest rise, so maybe placing your hand on the belly, your hand on the chest. As you exhale, the chest drops, and then the belly. So we're just taking these breaths nice and slow, being mindful of where we allow the breath to enter. And then just noticing the body as well, if there's any tension. Noticing the mind, if there's any thoughts that keep coming up. And just allowing everything to melt away with the exhale. Allowing the thoughts to come and go like clouds in the sky. Holding no judgment as we practice quieting the mind. We'll inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling for 4. And exhaling for 6. Inhale for 4. And exhale for 6. Now we're going to add our kumbhaka, or our retention, to this. So inhaling for 4. Holding the breath for 1, 2. And exhaling for 6. Holding the breath out here for 1 and 2. And inhaling for 4. Holding the breath in for 2. And exhaling for 6. Holding the breath out for 2. Do a few more rounds at your own pace. Really focusing on that connection underneath the hands, of the belly rising and the chest. holding the breath in and out to quiet the mind. One more round here. Inhaling for 4. Holding for 2. Exhaling for 6. Holding the breath out for 2. Beautiful. Bring the hands to the knees, sitting up nice and tall and just returning to your normal breath. Noticing if the oxygen feels like it's getting in even deeper than it was before. Beautiful. Now, I talked a bit about Pratyahara yesterday, closing off of the senses, and we're just going to practice that a little bit more with our humming bee breath, so that Bhramari breath. But what we do this time around, we're literally going to block off the senses and just concentrate on the humming. So I'll show you what I do first, and then we'll do 5 rounds together. So you're actually going to block your ears with your thumbs, placing the pointer finger on the eyebrows above, and the middle finger below on the eyes, and the last 2 fingers on the cheeks. So you're really blocking everything off. And as you inhale, you exhale to hum. So as we do this for the next 5 rounds, I really want you to concentrate on that aspect of just retreating inside of you and just noticing what's going on inside. So when you've got it all blocked off here, you can only really concentrate on that vibration, the humming inside your skull. And that's to literally close off the rest of the senses around us. So when you're ready, sitting up nice and tall, finding our position with our thumbs, fingers on the face, we take a deep inhale here. Exhale to hum. When you've completed 5 rounds, coming back to seated, sitting up nice and tall. Just notice how you feel after that breath. If it still feels like your head's vibrating. It's a great breath to return to when we're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, to literally just close off the senses, stimulating the vagus nerve and calming down with that cooling breath. We're going to add some arm movements now to our breath. So arms out in front. We inhale, opening up the arms. Exhale, bringing the hands round, curling the back, giving ourselves a nice big hug. Inhaling, open. Exhaling, other arm on top this time, curling to give a hug. And open. And coming back to seat. Adding our favourite side stretches in there now, placing the right hand down, inhaling the left up. Reaching it all the way over as much as you can. And exhaling down and inhaling the right up. Really exaggerating that stretch. So you're reaching that hand over like you're trying to touch the floor beside you. And sitting up nice and tall. We're going to find our little back twist now. So inhaling the hands up. Exhaling the hands over to the right. Pulling yourself through. Finding a beautiful twist. Each inhale, lengthening that spine a little bit more. Exhale, turning into twist. And inhaling round all the way, finding that counter twist. Just dropping the head slightly. And gently sitting up. Inhaling the hands up. And exhale, turning to the left. Beautiful twist here. Exhale. And twist over that left shoulder a little bit more. And then coming back through the center. Finding a gentle counter twist. Inhaling back up. We're going to find our tabletop. Rolling over onto the shins. Sending the knees out wide. And going straight into our child's pose, opening up the hips and the lower back a little. You're going to spider crawl your hands as far forward as you can, reaching out in front of you until you're ready to drop the head. You're kind of pushing into your hands here, so it's a very active child's pose. So your hands are reached out as much as possible, really sending the fingertips and spreading them, putting them into the mat, and then pushing into your palms. Push your hips even lower towards the feet. Gently spider crawling your hands over to the left of the mat, and placing the right hand on top of the left, and exhaling down again. Still staying nice and strong and active through those arms. And spider crawling the hands all the way through the center and over to the right. Left hand on top of the right. And sending the hips back again. Crawling the hands back through the center. And enjoying one last breath here. Inhale forward. And then exhale, dropping the hips. Melting the pelvis to the floor. Opening up. Nice gentle back bend. And inhaling back to our child. Rounding the spine as we come up this time. And then dropping the pelvis. And sanding it back. Pulling yourself along the floor. Into the elbows. Then into the hands. Inhaling up. Exhaling, dropping the chest. And sending the hips back. One more rounding of the spine, sending it all the way up, and dropping the hips. Really pushing into those hands, lengthening the chest. Right. Opening up the shoulders. And then exhaling. On the inhale, coming up to our tabletop position. I'm going to inhale that left leg back, nice and long. Then we're going to bend that leg. We're going to put our weight into our left hand, so finding that balance. Maybe sending the right hand out in front of you first. And then exhaling it round to grab that foot. Then inhaling to kick into that hand, opening up the chest, kicking that leg up even more, finding our balance. Finding a nice quad stretch. Working on that balance. Then exhaling down as controlled as possible. And finding our tabletop. This time we're lifting our right leg all the way back. Turning on that core. Bending the knee. And sending our left hand up. Out and around to grab that foot. Then we inhale and kick. Opening up the chest, opening up the leg. Kicking a little bit more, finding that balance, finding some more height. And exhaling down. Getting ready to tuck the toes here. Getting them underneath us. And then we're going to inhale. Coming to sit up. Giving a nice plantar stretch in the sole of the foot. And just sitting back on those heels. Opening up the toes. Opening up the sole of the foot. Trying to make sure that we're over the heels with an equal amount of weight. So you don't want to be leaning into one leg more than the other. You'll notice it'll get a really strong on whatever foot you're leaning on. So having it as balanced as possible. Returning to our diaphragmic breathing. You might be starting to feel quite strong now. Still concentrating on the breath. And inhale the hands up. Then exhale, gently coming out of that position into the tabletop. Untucking the toes, giving them a light tap. Oof, yeah, that's definitely strong for me. Breathing in here, tucking the toes one more time, and exhaling the hips all the way back for our first downward facing dog. So bending one leg, then the other, walking our dog, taking it nice and easy. and finding stillness, sinking the heels back as much as you can. Taking a nice deep breath here. When you're ready, we're going to find our downward twist. So picking our right hand up, we grab the outside of our left leg, pulling ourselves through. Just realized I have a pearl moustache. So you're kind of twisting at the mid body, looking underneath that left armpit. Really pressing the weight into the fingertips of that left hand and all four corners of that left hand. Shoulder away from ear. And then exhale down. Gently walking the feet to the top of the mat. Taking as many steps as you can. And hanging in your forward fold. Heel toning the feet out to the side. And sinking down to our Malasana. Sitting up nice and tall here. Using elbows into knees, knees into elbows. You're going to plant that left hand on the mat. And inhale that right hand to the sky. Still pressing that left elbow into the left knee. Opening up that chest even more. Then exhaling the hand down through to the center. And planting the right hand. And inhaling the left all the way up for a twist on the other side. Really pushing that right elbow into the right knee to stop the knees from collapsing in. And exhaling back through the center. Pressing the hands, we inhale the feet all the way up. The hips all the way up. And heel toe the feet in, finding a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, folding back over, planting the hands and stepping back for our downward facing dog. Taking a nice deep breath in here. And then exhale, finding our twist on the other side. So lifting our left hand up and grabbing the outside of our right foot. You're opening up the back thighs, the calves, and finding a beautiful detoxing twist, pulling ourselves through the center a little bit more. Looking under the right armpit. And exhaling that hand down. We're going to flow through our vinyasa. So coming forward into our plank. You can either keep the knees lifted or dropping onto the mat for this first vinyasa flow. Exhaling down to the mat. Pulling ourselves forward, inhaling upward facing dog. Then exhaling, finding our down dog. We're going to look to the top of the mat, bend the knees, inhale here, then exhale, jumping to the top, and finding our forward fold. And vertebrae by vertebrae, rising up to our Tadasana. Shoulders back and down. Inhaling the hands all the way up into our prayer. Then exhaling over to the left. Inhaling again, opening up that chest, looking to the sky, really sending those hips over to the right. Inhaling back up. Exhaling over to the right, sending the hips to the left. Inhaling, twisting, looking up to the sky. And inhaling back up. Exhaling, hands down through the center. You're going to step your feet into a wide-legged position. So toes pointing to the front. Finding our star, we inhale the hands up. Exhale, pointing the feet to the side. And coming down to the center for our goddess. Hips drop automatically, directly underneath us. You can either keep your hands in prayer or find a nice cactus here as well. Maybe dropping the hips even lower. If you want to make it a bit more of a challenge, maybe just lifting one heel and dropping it down, lifting the other. And then if you're really up for challenging yourself, lifting both heels off the ground. Sinking into those hips, finding that goddess, finding that strength. Then inhaling the hands up, dropping the heels, finding our star. And exhale, finding our forward fold. Hinging all the way at the hips, finding a straight back halfway down. Inhaling here. And then exhale, dropping all the way to the mat. Hands find the mat. Or maybe the big toes are being held by the peace fingers. And pulling yourself down even more. Hips are being sent to the sky. Maybe planting that head on the mat, seeing how that feels. Playing with the balance in this fold. And you're going to gently press into the hands, inhaling up, halfway lift. Then we're going to move through our skandhasanas, making it a nice flowy movement. So inhaling here. I'm going to exhale into that left foot, left knee, sending the right foot to the sky, finding our skandhasana on the left hand side. Inhaling here. Then we're going to exhale down, come through the center, and bending into our right knee, sending the left foot to the sky, opening up to skandhasana on the other side. Trying to sit up nice and tall, so really feeling that stretch in the inner thigh. Exhale down, move over to the left. Inhaling here, and exhale over to the right. We're just getting really nice and open through the hips. Over to the other side. One more here. And over to the right. When you're ready, inhaling back through the center. Sending those hips to the sky, toes pointing forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale down. Hands come to the hips. And we inhale all the way up. Finding our star. We spin the toes and step to the top of the mat. Maybe giving the legs a little bit of a shake after those hip openers. So standing nice and tall here. We're going to move into our balance. So you're going to come onto the toes, lifting the heels up off the floor, turning the belly on, and finding your balance. So this can be quite a difficult one. Maybe zipping the legs together, bringing the big toes together, belly drawn in, and inhaling up. Finding a point of focus in front of you. Struggling with my balance today. Getting as high as you can. And exhaling down. Shaking out the legs. And doing that again. So you're trying to come onto the balls of your feet as much as you can. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. Oof, got a fly trying to open my nose. This time we're going to inhale up onto the tiptoes. Once you're on your tiptoes, you're going to exhale, bending into the knees, bring your hands out in front. Sitting back for our chair, with our heels lifted. It's okay to be shaky and wobbly. We're just practicing this one. Sinking down as much as you can. The heels drop, just lift them back up. And exhaling, standing, and dropping to Tadasana. Very tight one in the calves. Extra challenging with flies in your face. Now we're going to plant our feet, spreading the toes, imagining that there's roots coming out from underneath them. Inhaling that right knee up. And you're going to exhale it back. Right hand finds the right foot. Inhaling the knees together. Left hand goes up. And then exhaling, folding forward for our dancers. So kicking into that hand, opening up the chest. Hinging at the hips. That right glute turns on to lift the foot even more. Finding a drishti, your point of focus. And inhaling back up. Shaking out those standing legs again. Planting the right foot down. Spreading the toes. And inhaling that left leg up. And capturing that left foot with the left hand. Finding a balance here. Inhaling that right hand up. And exhaling, tilting forward at the hips. Kicking into that left hand. Using that left glute, lift the leg even more. Maybe dropping that chest even closer to the ground. Inhaling back up. And exhaling down. Inhale, circle, shake hands up. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, head down. This time maybe bending one knee, then the other. Opening up the hips, stretching that back body. finding stillness. Maybe wrapping the hands behind the calves, pulling yourself even closer. And dropping the hands to the mat. Stepping that right foot back 3 to 4 feet, setting up for our pyramid. So inhaling, halfway lift, and exhale, folding over that left leg, straightening it out in front of you, pulling that left hip in line with the right. Just letting gravity do the work here, melting over that left leg. And when you're ready, planting that right hand down and inhaling that left hand up for our pyramid twist. So again, sending that left hip back. If you want to twist it even more, bring that right hand to the outside of that left foot, opening up even more. Finding strength, flexibility, and balance in this pose. Twisting as much as you can. Then exhaling to release over that leg. You're going to inhale, bending into that left leg, sending that right foot back even more. Finding your runners. Then dropping that right knee down to the mat. We're going to inhale, finding our corkscrew twist. So bending that right leg, grabbing it with the left arm. Maybe heel toeing that left foot out a bit more. And sinking into the hips, opening up the chest. Looking to the toes of your right foot. Or maybe even shutting the eyes down. Just breathing into this twist. And exhaling, releasing the foot. Coming back round to center. And this time, sending the hips back, straightening that left leg, and finding our half Hanuman. So inhaling, halfway lift. Then exhale, folding over that leg. So this is a warm-up for our half split. Really opening up the hamstring. You feel like you can begin to challenge yourself or deepen the stretch. Taking the ankle out a little bit more in front of you. Inhaling and exhaling. Maybe the full splits is in your practice, or maybe that's something that you're aiming to get to. So sending that leg out in front of you. Sitting up nice and tall. This fly really wants to get up my nose. And exhale, folding over that front leg. If you're still in half Hanuman, that's totally fine. You're not going to get to this in 30 days, trust me. If you are, then low-key jealous. Sitting up nice and tall. And then exhaling, bringing that foot back. Finding our tabletop. And then sending the hips back for our downward facing dog. Inhaling through to plank. Belly on. Then exhaling down, chaturanga. Inhaling upward facing dog. And exhaling down dog. Looking to the front of your mat. Bending the knees. Inhaling here. And exhaling. Forward fold. Inhaling, circle sweep the arms all the way up. And exhale down through the center. Inhaling all the way up. And exhale, forward fold. This time, stepping the left foot back, setting up for our pyramid. So that back foot is almost on a diagonal. That middle foot and the front foot in the middle of your mat. Inhaling, halfway lift. And then exhale over that foot. Pulling that right hip back. Melting everything over. Pulling that right hip in line with the left. And when you're ready, planting that left hand and inhaling the right hand up. Finding our twisted pyramid. If you want to deepen that stretch, planting the left hand on the outside of the right foot. Twisting even more. Definitely is a balancing pose as well. Nice deep breaths here, looking up, over toward the right hand, up to the sky. And gently exhaling back down. And bending into that right leg, sending the left leg back, finding our runners. Dropping that back knee, heel toeing that right foot out a bit, sinking into the hip, and bending that knee and reaching back with our right hand. Opening up for our corkscrew. Really stretching the quads here. Breathing all the way into the belly. Opening up that hip flexor, quadricep, the front of the leg. One more deep breath here. And exhale, releasing that foot. And coming back to frame the right. I'm going to send the hips back for half Hanuman. Straightening the leg out in front of you, pointing those toes to the sky. Right hip pulling back toward the left hip socket. Inhaling, halfway lift here. And exhaling, folding over. Again, playing with whatever depth you want to work with this morning. Maybe bringing that leg out a little bit more. As much as you like. Or maybe finding your split. Inhaling nice and tall here. Exhaling, sinking in. Releasing the back hamstring. If you're not quite at the splits yet and you're still in half Hanuman, that you want to get here, blocks are always a good way as well to come up onto those. And then you can slowly start releasing inch by inch. Inhaling nice and tall here. And then bringing that right foot back. And finding your down dog, pressing into the hands, tucking your toes. And exhaling those hips back. Inhaling through to our plank. Lowering to chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. And exhaling, down dog. And then dropping to the knees. Coming into a seated position, planting the right leg on the ground and the left on top. Sitting up nice and tall here. And exhaling, forward fold. Releasing the back of the neck. Tucking the chin to the chest. Nice deep breaths all the way into the hips, all the way into the glutes. Each inhale inviting even more space into the belly. And then exhaling, release, folding over those legs. Pushing into the hands, gently inhaling back up. Uncrossing the legs, planting the feet, sending the hands behind you, and we're lifting up into our reverse tabletop. So the hips come up, head goes back. And exhaling back down. This time planting the left foot, sinking the right over top. Sitting up nice and tall. And then exhale, hinging forward. Trying to keep grounded evenly in the seat bones. Hips pressing back, even as we fold forward. Tucking that chin to chest. Each exhale allowing us to melt down a little bit further. Nice deep breaths in here. And pushing into the hands, inhaling up. Hands come behind, planting the feet. We inhale up to reverse tabletop. Dropping the head behind you, lifting those hips even more. And exhaling down. I'm going to find our feet, roll vertebrae by vertebrae onto the mat. Releasing everything down. Sending the right leg up to the sky, crossing it over the left. Inhaling both those legs up. Grabbing the ankles, the shins, or the feet with your hands. Inhaling here. And then exhaling, pulling those ankles in towards you. Now reclined cow face. Allowing the hips and glutes to open a little bit more by pulling into these ankles. Everything hugging into the midline. And exhale to release. Soles of the feet go to the mat. And windshield wipe the legs left to right. dropping back to neutral. Inhaling that left leg to the sky, crossing it over the right, and inhaling those legs up to the center. Grabbing the legs, the ankles of the feet. Inhaling here. And exhale to pull into those legs even more. Should feel a nice stretch in the left glute and hamstring all the way up the side there. One more inhale here. And exhale. And gently releasing the feet. Taking the legs wide, dropping the knees in. And then windshield wiping the legs again, but with a wider stance. Nice and slowly. Taking them up and across. And bringing them down. Now, letting that left leg go long, pulling that right knee into the chest. Inhaling here. And exhale over to the left, finding our supine twist. From here, we're going to bend that left leg. You're going to grab that foot with your right hand. Then grabbing the right big toe with the peace fingers of your left. You're going to inhale here. And then exhale, twisting open, kicking into that right leg. And kicking into the right hand with the left. So this is called cat pulling its tail. So you're still nice and twisted, trying to keep the shoulder blades down. Opening up the legs. Kicking into that right hand a little bit more with the left foot. Maybe lifting this right leg in front of you, lifting it up higher, stretching it out more. Nice big inhale here. And exhale. One more time. And then exhale to release. Coming back onto your back. Soles of the feet planted in the mat. Sending the right leg along, inhaling that left leg in. And then exhaling it over to the right. Bending that right leg. Grabbing that foot with the left hand. Then grabbing the peace fingers, wrapping them around the toes of the left foot. Inhaling here. And exhaling, straightening that left leg. And kicking that right foot into the left hand. Shoulders remaining on the ground as much as you can. One more inhale here. And exhale to release. Letting go of the tension a little bit more. Kicking that left leg, straightening it out. Kicking into the right leg, opening up the chest. Inhaling here. And exhale. One more inhale. And exhale to release. Bring the soles of the feet back onto the mat. We're going to find our happy baby. Maybe first just giving ourselves a big cuddle. Rocking side to side. Massaging the back. And then grabbing the outsides of your feet, pulling it down with your hands. Lower back sinking into the mat. Maybe straightening one leg. then the other. Maybe even straightening both. Pulling the knees back down. And releasing to our Savasana. Legs wide of the mat, hands wide of the mat. Taking a deep breath all the way into the belly. And exhaling out the mouth. Just feeling the connection of the mat underneath you. Feel the support of the earth. So you gently breathe in all the positive energy and exhale everything that doesn't serve you. Maybe using this breath to release any negative energy from the week, any work stresses, anything that you just don't want to carry forward with you into this weekend. We let it go together now. Taking a deep breath in and sigh it out the mouth. Deep breath in. And get rid of it all. One more time. Imagining those roots coming out from your back body and into the earth. Allowing what you don't want to carry with you to travel down those roots, exiting your body. At the same time, drawing up whatever you need, be it strength, calmness, stability, and drawing that up from the earth, all the way into your body. Taking one more moment here to appreciate the support of the earth underneath you, feeling connected to your mat, feeling connected to your mind, feeling connected to your body. When you're ready, bringing some gentle energy back to the room, wiggling your fingers and toes. And then gently rolling onto your left-hand side, hugging yourself in a fetal position here. Then gently pushing into your palms and coming to seat. Eyes closed. Sitting up nice and tall. And finish the practice by chanting Om and Shanti Shanti Shanti. Bring the hands to heart center. We'll inhale together. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gently bow our heads. Give thanks to yourselves for showing up today. Give thanks to each other for sharing in this space. And give thanks to your greater guides, Mother Earth, nature, God, divinity, or your own highest consciousness, whatever you want to call it. May you go forward and have the most wonderful weekend that you deserve. Namaste.